I'm Sonja Swanepoel. I'm a sculptor and landscape architect. I did landscape architecture for about 30 years, and then I've decided that I wanted something different. So I started doing sculpting. I studied a postgraduate degree at UCT Michaelis, and then since then I've been making sculptures more full-time. Well, this installation is called Avian, and it's all bird-like creatures, and they are bone-like, to play on the idea of extinction, but also they've got different messages. So everyone's got a different narrative, but they're also instinctive. So it's basically a balanced bird, so it's a multi-dimensional sculpture. It can be placed anywhere around. And yeah, it's about nature being balanced, and it's got a bone-like quality to play on the idea of extinction. It was only when bones were discovered that we realized species went extinct. And then, so that informed some of the forms that I use.
Okay, so what kind of material is this? Is it resin, or is it?
No, it's a water-based material. It's marble composite, and this here is ceramic, so it's clay, stoneware, so it's fired at a high temperature to withstand being outside.
So you basically also work with molds, eh?
I sometimes do. I'm moving away from the mold making process because it's very labor intensive, and I'm trying to move away from using plastics, to be honest with you, and go more natural. So my work now lately is more towards the stoneware, ceramic based work, and the marble composite. What I find wonderful is you must actually come and sit here and see when small children come, running down here, and they immediately get it. They immediately see it's a bird. They're so connected to the right side of their brain still that they can immediately see it's a bird. It's like, wow. So their parents would ask them, so what do you think this is? And they're like, it's a bird, So I find that reassuring almost, in the sense that they are still more connected to their almost primitive nature, their instinctive nature. It's when we start reading, it's when we start writing, it's when we start using our rational mind more, that we start being removed from abstract forms, when we start being removed from nature, where we start being removed from what comes instinctive. And I do believe we need to get back to that connection. We really do. It's only when we do that we will be able to start valuing the stuff that's important. So yes, I do believe the work has got a very strong inner message, but you need to either, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You need to stand there and see if it speaks to you or not. I love bones. I love that they're basically the scaffolding of life. If we didn't have bones in our bodies, we would have been blobs. So everything about us being upright, being on this planet, it's got to do with us having bones inside our bodies. And then the birds have very, if you look at a bird skeleton, it's very, very light, but extremely strong. And that's what I want to convey with these sculptures. They are very fragile, feminine shapes, but they are very strong. Because if they're not strong, they wouldn't be able to stand outside here. So, so I absolutely adore bone. And if you break a bone and you look at the inside of a bone and the structure inside a bone, and it's like everything in nature's got this underlying structure. So yes, I love working with bone. If you go and walk on the beach and you see a whalebone, I mean, I don't know if you've been to Cape Point and saw that big whalebone lying there. There's nothing more exquisite. And if you think about architects, Calatrava is a good example where he does these gigantic structures outside, but they've got a poetry to them, because in a sense they resonate with you because it's taken from nature, it's taken from something that we know, it's taken from something that we instinctively can associate with. So yes, the bones, very important.
Pointed shapes, is that also a reason for that?
The pointed shapes, and it's a repetitive. I do find that I tend to, it's almost like, you know, if you look at a plant, if you look at anything, you know, when a fern frond is opening, or when something starts, a bud opens, when a flower is closed, it's like the growing points in, so it's organic. It's a very organic termination. The moment you do a flat, it's something else. But this is a more organic shape. So yes, I think it's got to do with my preference for natural shapes, natural organic forms, where I don't want blocks. I think block is not a natural thing. It's good that you mentioned that, because it's this connection to the spiritual, because birds used to be revered by the Bushmen and by ancient civilizations, because they saw them as the connection between us and the, you know, and the spiritual world almost. And so it's got that quality of reaching upwards, you know.